Have you ever wondered what it's like to play with a pro golfer? Or how about play golf with your favorite celebrity? Or what about bringing a group of them together to help raise more money for your organization? Well, you've come to the right place. Hello, everyone. My name is Phil Mordino, and this is another GTAA free webinar. For over 30 years, we've had the opportunity to work with thousands of tournament planners around the world. We see the good, the bad, and the ugly. So our job is to bring that information to you, to help you produce the best golf tournament possible. So today we're going to talk about something a little bit different, maybe something that you haven't seen before. You've heard about it, maybe you've seen it on TV, but wondered, how do we get it started? Well, there's over 500,000 tournament outings throughout the United States every year. 90% of them are fundraisers for charity. 10% are corporate outings. The average charity event nets only $8,000. So, is there something different out there, something we can try? Well, the average Pro Am and Celebrity Am nets between 25 and 50,000. Some of them make in the hundreds of thousands. So today, we're going to talk about Pro Ams and Celebrity Ams. So, sit back, enjoy. We're going to discuss a lot of things. We're going to talk about what is a Pro Am, what is a Celebrity Am, how do they work, and what's the difference. We're also going to discuss how do we find professional golfers, how do we find celebrity golfers, how do we secure them, what do we charge our golfers, what are some formats that we can use. We're going to discuss a little bit about committees, sponsors, and golfers. We've had the chance to work with hundreds of Pro Ams, Celebrity Ams, PGA Tour, Alice Cooper's event, Brian Dawkins' event. So we know how they work, and we're here to share with you that information. So sit back, take some notes, and enjoy. Let's get started. All right, so the first question is, what is a Pro Am? Simply a golf tournament where a professional golfer plays with amateur golfers. Typically, it's one golf pro in a foursome of amateurs. A professional golfer, what is that? What is a golf pro? Professional golfer is somebody who receives payments or financial rewards in the sport of golf that are directly related to their skill or reputation. It might be an individual that works at a golf course. It might be someone who gives golf lessons, or they may play competitively. The bottom line is they're very good golfers, and they're a lot of fun to play with. So people will pay you extra. So what are the different types of professional golfers? Well, there's three different types. One is the big ones, the ones you see on TV, the ones that play on the PGA Tour. The second are mini tour players. There's a whole lot of little mini tours that you never hear about. These are very, very good golfers, not quite PGA Tour level, but they're great golfers. And then many work at a golf course, they give lessons. So there's three different types of golf pros that you want to look at. So where do we find these golf pros? Where do we find the ones that you'd like to have in your tournament? And there's many ways. So first, let's talk about the big ones, the PGA Tour. Where do you find PGA Tour players? Well, they're a little tougher to get to because they're busy, they're traveling, they're playing on TV, they're making big, big money, but they can be obtained and they can be secured for your event. So it all boils down to a few items. One is relationships. Somebody in your organization knows somebody who's a pro golfer. So ask questions, find out who's related to who, and you can find that relationship and make that connection. Secondly, they believe in a cause, sometimes your cause, but they all have a charity or a nonprofit that they want to give back to, that they want to support. So that could be yours. They all have a personal agent and a manager. It's easy to get to them. You look online. We have a list. You may want to contact us for that. But they are obtainable. Sometimes going through an agent's a little tougher because they always want the big money, but it can be done. It's easier when they're local. Best to find the golf pros that live in your area, because when they're home, they're easier to access, especially in the off season. And what's nice about the pro golfers is they bring their buddies. They all know each other. So you get one, you might get a few more. They're always connected to major sponsors, the banks, car dealers. You've seen it on their hats and their sleeves. If you have a connection with one of these major sponsors and partner up on your event, they may bring their celebrity pro golfers to your event. But just give you a little idea, Gary Player, one of the greatest golfers of all time, we hired him for the CEO Cup that we did. He charged us $125,000 for 2 days. So and you can imagine what Tiger Woods or Phil Mickelson charges, a lot more than that. But it's being done. It's being done all over the country. So don't be afraid. It's all about getting the right sponsors. So let's take a look at something a little bit more obtainable, which is the mini tour players. What do you find mini tour players? Well, remember, they're striving PGA pros, so they're not on the road as much. They're trying very hard to play on the tour. They've got to qualify, but they're playing in mini tours around the country. First step I would do is just go to your local golf course, and those folks know a lot of the mini tour players. Some of them may play at your club, the club that you belong to or play at. So ask around, start off with the local golf courses. But if you want to look up some mini tours in your area, there's a whole list of them. There's the Corn Ferry Tour, which is the big one. There's Minor League Golf Tour, Big Easy Golf Tour, IGT Challenge Tour, and so forth. So there's several out there. You may want to go to a website called bluegolf.com, which has a lot of the mini tours that you've never heard about. So there's a lot of mini tour players that are accessible and that you can find there. Then let's even take it a little bit step easier, and that's the local golf professional. You know, there's hundreds of local golf professionals right in your neighborhood. They work at a golf course. They give golf lessons. Best way to start there is go to your golf course. Go to the local golf course and ask the PGA pros that work there. Many times there's a director of golf, there's a head professional, there's assistant pro. They all belong to the PGA. You may want to contact your local PGA section. Just look it up online. You can find the contact, and they'll have a list of all the PGA players in your area. So pros are out there. Yes, it's very difficult to get the big names, the ones on the PGA Tour, but it can be done depending on the demographics of your group and your sponsors. But at minimum, there's local golf pros that are very good, fun to play with, and they're much easier to get to. And so that's pretty much what we recommend while you're getting started, unless you have a contact for one of the big names on tour. Then the next question is, how do you acquire them? How do you secure them? How do you get these golf pros? Well, there's three different ways. Number one, they donate their time. All golf pros want to give back. Sometimes they have their own charity that they work with that they give back time to, and they want to raise money. So maybe you're connected to a national organization. You're a chapter, and they have a national spokesman who is a PGA Tour player. They do donate their time, but the local players also want to donate their time. They want to give back to the community. They want exposure for what they do, and they want to meet people. So they may just donate their time. Catch them on a Monday or a Tuesday. They're not out running around the country, and they are available. The second way is to pay them to play. Now think about this. If you go out and pay a couple of players, handful of players to play in your tournament, you would just upcharge your players. So if a golf pro went out, this is a local golf pro, would come out and play in your tournament on a Monday, they charge you $250. Just add that a little bit more to a foursome cost, and now they have their own pro. So basically it pays for itself by you adding that charge to your foursome. So pay them to come play. Trust me, you'll make the money back in a big way because you can charge a lot more for your foursomes. And the third way is to have them pay you. This is being done all over the country, very popular, and it's a great way to get a lot of the local and regional golf pros out to your event. And that is to have them pay you. And it works something like this. They all pay you, let's just say it's $250. And if you can get 36 pros to pay you $250, now you have a purse of $9,000. Well, these golf pros play for that purse. You may give out first prize at around $3,000, second prize at $2,000, and so forth, and then pay several golfers deep, which encourages them to play in your event because they invest $250, but they get to win more back. This is being done all over the country. Now, you do not get to see that money, but remember, what you'll get to see is the extra money that you're going to charge to play in your event. So very easily have them pay you, make it a Pro Am. You get pro golfers, and your amateurs are very happy and very excited to be able to play with a pro. All right, let's move on to a celebrity event. What is a celebrity event? Similar concept. The difference simply is putting a celebrity in a foursome of amateurs. No difference, just a celebrity versus a golf pro. Now, who is a celebrity? Well, simple. A celebrity is anybody who's famous, anybody who someone else will pay extra to play with. So it can be anybody from movie and TV personalities to your local sportscasters, newscasters. It could be radio personalities. It could be retired athletes, active athletes, business leaders in your community, and politicians. They're all considered celebrities, and people will pay you extra to play with them. So the question is, where do you find these celebrities? Again, start off with relationship. Everybody knows somebody who knows somebody. So dig deep within your committee and your volunteers and your donors and find out who knows who. Local celebrities are obviously a lot easier to obtain, but they're gotten through relationships to start. But there's a lot of organizations in your community that you can pull from. Alumni organizations. The NFL has alumni chapters all over the country. Major League Baseball, these are the retired athletes. They're still famous in your communities, and people will pay to play with them. One of the best ways, I believe, is to partner with a media group in your area, whether it's a sports radio station, maybe it's a television station who's involved and has sports cast. They know the people, they know the celebrities, and you can tie into them, and they can bring out the celebrities that they're connected with, and it's a win-win for everybody. And then finally, sports teams. If you're in a major metropolitan area, you have professional sports teams. Contact them. In the off season, they love to come out and get back to the community. They love to get involved, and it's a great way to utilize those folks in your community. So that's how you find them. Now the question is, how do you secure them? Very, very challenging, and I'll tell you why. Because a celebrity will always go to the paying gig. Wherever they have money coming in, they're going to go to that. They get a last minute commercial or event they get paid for, they're going to go to that. So it can be a challenge, but if you start early and make these commitments early, they'll put it on their calendar and they'll try to show up. So we talked earlier about the partnerships, either a partnership with the media or maybe a partnership with some of your major sponsors or the major companies in town. They have celebrities they're connected to. So do a partnership with your organization and you can bring out those celebrities. They may just believe in your cause. Through the years, you're going to find out that there are people that have given to your cause, been participating in your 5Ks and your galas and your auctions. Reach out to those people, look at those lists, and see if there's celebrities in there that want to participate in your event. Get a commitment letter early on. Sometimes if you're going to pay them a contract or an agreement, but if volunteer, then a commitment letter, at least you get their signature that they're trying and will try their hardest to make it to your event. So some type of commitment letter. Once you get their verbal or written agreement, get their name out there. Do press releases, put it on your website, put it in your material, because they've made the commitment, then you can use their names. But always put in small print, people like this, because you never know who's going to make it and who's going to cancel off the last minute, because they can back out, and they will back out, and it's very frustrating for you organizers when those celebrities back out. So when you're working with these celebrities, remember a couple things. Your ideal goal is to work with local celebrities. And the reason being is you start bringing in out-of-town celebrities, they're going to expect, at minimum, their expenses covered. And they don't go cheap. They go first class. You're going to need suites and rental cars and limos and nice hotels and so forth. So try and get local celebrities because they won't be as expensive. And then you just want to make sure that you start promoting them because they like that promotion. They like that exposure. They like the fact that they're giving back, and everyone wants social media. So you get their commitment and then start promoting it on social media and all your marketing. And then you're obviously going to get them excited and they'll stay committed to your cause. Now, everyone asks me, what do we charge for our celebrities, our pros? What's going to be different? We talked a little bit earlier about the Pro Am. if they pay you or you have to pay them. But the motto is pretty much 2 to 3 times what you're already charging. If you charge for your regular tournament, let's just say $250 a person, with you bring in a celebrity or a pro, you can charge 2, 3, 4 times as much, because a good celebrity is worth at least $1,000, sometimes more. There are pro-ams on the PGA Tour where individuals are paying $7,500 just to play around with a golf pro on TV. So keep that in mind. But it's all relative. It's what is your demographics. If you have a bunch of folks who don't have a lot of income, you're going to want to keep that lower. But if you've got some white collar owners of companies, then you can charge a little bit higher. But in the average, you're going to look at $500 to $1,500 a person, depending on the value of that celebrity and also depending on your demographics. One thing that's fun, if you've got some big name celebrities and then some maybe not so big name celebrities, you may want to do a bidding party or a pairings party the night before or the week before, where the celebrity may show up, and you have these names, you do a little bio, and then some of your golfers will bid on playing with certain people, and you can bump up the price on everybody. So there's the flat fee of getting into the tournament, and then there's extra revenue for them to auction off to play with their favorite one. So bidding parties, pairing parties are a lot of fun, and you can make a lot of extra money if you've got some good names. So then the question is going to be, what's the right format? What format do you use in these type of events? Ideally, I mentioned earlier, it typically is one pro or one celebrity per foursome. And if you have a full field of 36 teams, that means you're going to need 36 celebrities or 36 pros. Or if you can't get that many, let's say you got 20, you want to limit it to 20. But whatever you get in celebrities and pros, that's how many foursomes you want to sell. It's good to always have a few extras in case pros or celebrities back out. The other way to do it is if you cannot get 20 or 30 pros or 20 or 30 celebrities, and you'll get one or two, you may want to consider putting that one or two out there on the golf course, maybe on a par 3. And then as your golfers come through the tournament, they get to play with that one celebrity or that one pro on a par 3. I mentioned we hired Gary Player, and he sat on the famous Island Green at Sawgrass all day as golfers came through and got to play with him. But the next day, what he did was he played 3 holes with each group. So if you're again limited to celebrities and only have a few, you may want to have them rotate with your golfers. Typically, it's a scramble. It makes everyone have fun, and the good golfers don't have to, the bad golfers don't have to worry about the good golfers because it's kind of a team event. But keep in mind that if you're going to do a Pro Am and there's a prize purse, the pros still have to play their own ball. The amateurs can play their ball if they want or not, but if there's a prize purse, pros have to play their own ball. So you're going to have to find a golf course. Okay, so let's talk about a little bit about that golf course. First of all, you're really going to want to find a golf course that has done these before. They get it, they understand the promotional value, because one of the first questions you're going to ask is, do you allow fivesomes? Again, ideally, it's one celebrity, one pro with a foursome. So you're going to want to allow fivesomes, which brings into a whole bunch of extra golf carts, and you got to make sure they have extra golf carts. You don't have to rent them to bring them in, because again, that's going to be more expensive for you. And then ideally that they're going to allow that pro or that celebrity to play for free. Golf courses get it. They get your tournament if you allow them to do that. But let's say you have a golf course that doesn't allow any of that, but it's a great golf course and you really, really want it, and they don't allow fivesomes. Well, then you want to do a threesome of amateurs and one pro or one celebrity. But the perfect world is a foursome with a celebrity or a pro, which allows fivesomes. So double check with that as you're talking to the golf course. Make sure that it's a nice property. Don't go to the dump. Your pros and celebrities don't want to play in a dump, and they want to make sure the banquet facilities are good so everyone has a nice dinner afterwards. So then you're going to obviously get back to the basics. Now, keep in mind, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the next couple of topics because we've done tons of videos on these. Your committee, we go into depth on your committees. We have a full-blown video just on committee responsibilities, and you can see that video on the golf tournament channel on YouTube. So go there and see, we have a whole list of different videos on different topics. But typical scenario, if you heard any of our stuff before, you know you're going to need a chairman, someone to oversee the property or the project or the event. They're the boss, they're the CEO, and ideally it's a golfer, not and a volunteer. You're going to want to see one person in charge of the pros and celebrities, make sure that all the details are being covered, their transportation, and that they're taken care of. You're going to need a chairman over sponsors, a sponsorship chairman. You'll need a golfer chairman, a gift and prize chairman, an operations chairman, a media chairman, and an auction chairman. The reason it's important to have a chairman on each one is because they'll take responsibility in each one of those areas. Now, everyone's involved in every aspect of the tournament. That one person oversees that department, which gives them ownership, which gives them a vested interest to work harder for your event. So you obviously want a full-blown committee. Now, sponsors are key. In this scenario, normally we say that sponsors are the profit, and they are, but celebrities can be, and pros can be the profit center also, mainly because you're charging more to play with these pros and these celebrities. But sponsors are always the profit. So I like that idea of partnering with a media group because they're going to want to bring in sponsors. That's what they do. They're in contact with all the businesses in your area. Make sure you get your piece of the pie, though, for that sponsorship. But again, sponsorships bring in so many benefits because of their connections and their customers and their donors, and you can bring in a lot of extra golfers and a lot of contacts with sponsors and that relationship. Always offer them a return on investment. If you think you're just going to get away with a whole fine, you're not going to get the money you need to get. So build a complete package on giving them a return on investment. The more return you give them, the bigger the packages you can sell them. I mentioned before that we sold $1 million sponsorship to a company who was the title sponsor of a CEO Cup. And the reason they paid so much is because they got to play with CEOs and they got to network with CEOs of major Fortune 500 companies. So keep that in mind. You can get big sponsor dollars if you have a good demographics. The bigger the sponsors they get, bigger the celebrity. That's simple. The more they're paying, the more well-known pro or celebrity they get to play with. So don't take sponsors lightly. Again, we have a full-blown video just on sponsorship that you may want to turn into on the Golf Tournament channel. Next, golfers. You want to fill your field. Again, if you've heard any of our stuff, it's all about relationships. We have really pushed the 9-4-4 rule, which is 9 people on a committee finding 4 people to find a foursome. That's the best way. So you want to work with your customers, you want to look at your donor base, you want to look at your sponsors, and make sure that you're sold out. If you get celebrities and pros, the last thing you want to do is fall short. So golfers are key. Let's take a quick look at the budget and what does that look like. And we won't go into full detail because, again, we've got a video on the budget, but your income is going to be sponsors, the golfers, celebrity bidding, or the auctions on the celebrities, the award ceremony. Let me talk a little bit about that. You're going to want to make a bigger award ceremony, not just the golfers and the celebs. See, if you've got celebrities and pros there, you can sell an additional ticket to your award ceremony and make it a party. And now you've got people that weren't able to play golf, but they come to your party, and bingo, you're going to make a lot more money. So it's a big revenue source is your award ceremony. You've got the games and contests, you've got super tickets, you've got auctions, raffle, and donations. So that's going to be your main income. And then you've got your expenses. Basically, your expenses are going to be what we've talked about before, the golf course, sometimes the celebrity, sometimes celebrity travel, but if not, at minimum, a celebrity gift. You're going to want to get gifts for these celebrities and these pros just to say thank you, so they'll want to come back next year. You've got food and beverage, you've got golfer gifts, they're mainly their goodie bag. You've got travel involved if you bring in some celebrities. Insurance, which is not only hole-in-one insurance, but also weather insurance and also liability insurance. So keep those in mind. And then your marketing and promotion. Let me just add one more thing, and that is security. If you get big name pros, big name celebrities, you may have an extra level of security to get out there and keep everything safe. You're going to have a lot of groupies coming from all over to kind of see these folks if the word gets out. So that's pretty much your income and your expenses. Let me just talk quickly about what we can do for you if you need our help. Hopefully, this video is giving you a lot of great information. But if you need us, we'd love to work with you. Again, we've done hundreds around the country throughout the years, and we can help you just consulting, just kind of give you direction, coaching, kind of help you walk down that path of doing the event so you don't feel alone and trying to pull this off. We can actually do the whole event for you. If you've got some of the ingredients, we can put the whole thing together for you step by step. If all you need is for us to train your people, train your committee on how to find celebrities, how to get pros secured, how to sell sponsors, how to get golfers, how to get gifts and prizes, we can help train your people. If you're bumping your head against the golf course, I'm not going to give you that best deal. We can come in and help you with that process. So we'd love to work with you on there. And then if you obviously need gifts and prizes, we can help you with that too. So keep that in mind. So let me just wrap up by saying this, gang. First of all, just appreciate what you're doing in your community and how you're helping your organization. We just applaud you on your efforts. If you want to take your event to the next level, you want to raise a lot more money, a Pro Am and a Celebrity Am is the way to go. They're big money if they're done right, done properly. It's also great exposure for your organization and your community. So keep that in mind, which is a great way to go. And then obviously you're going to get better participation because, you know, when you get, when you do your regular event, you're going to have a certain amount of people playing. But if you're bringing in celebrities and pros, you're going to get a lot more attention and a lot more people involved in the organization. So thanks for joining us. Remember that we have in-depth video on every topic that you need on the golf tournament channel on YouTube. We also have podcasts so you can listen in your car, on Spotify, on every topic. We have articles, we have books on how to produce golf tournaments, night golf tournaments, and we'd love to help you. Whatever you need, if you've got a question, email me anytime. So thanks for being here. Good luck with your next event. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you on the next video. Have a great day.